about just your technical? It's like you had a tendency to go into the body, kind of systematically broke them down, even though people were booing and they get what you were doing.
Yeah, it doesn't matter that people are booing. I was trying to chop dude down. I had him hurt a couple times. I didn't want to rush in and let him get a hold of my legs. He's very strong. So I have a habit of getting too aggressive at times, and I was just trying to pull back on the accelerator. With that being said, I knew he would kind of fade or slow down body shots from previous fights he had, and I just wanted to chop him down there.
Did you learn from going through the Oliveira chapter, kind of like this time you officially putting that behind you and moving on?
You know, man, I went into the Oliveira fight hurt, and nobody knew. The UFC knew. You know, I had a bone bruise going in that fight from the fight in December. Nearly broke my foot. Wound up fracturing my foot in the fight against Oliveira and had a nerve contusion. So bearing weight and stuff, like a minute into the fight was very bad. I felt like somebody was stabbing my calf with a knife or whatever. So I wanted to come into this fight and just put on a better performance, get 15 minutes in. You know, I wasn't worried about the finish. I just wanted to beat him down and, you know, make a statement that my wrestling's getting better and people just aren't going to hold me down here. I was probably 60% in that last fight in March, and you know what? The UFC knew I didn't pull out the fight. That's why I asked Dana if I could get cleared by the UFC doctors and by my doctor if I'd get on this show. We did just that. I followed all the recovery stuff, got healthy, and Dana White got me on this show. So I'm very happy with that, and I'm very happy to be healthy.
You regret taking the fight in that condition?
Nah, man. I'm a gambling man. That's why we're in this sport, you know. So should have probably listened to my coaching staff, you know what I mean? But I tried to work around the problem, thought I was good. You know, I was whooping on Oliveira back in December, and I thought it was going to be the same outcome. The nerve, I never had a nerve problem, so when the fracture healed in 6 weeks or whatever, but the nerve stayed a problem for a little while. So if I had it to do all over again, I would probably still do it. So we only get one shot at this, and I'm minus waiting on fight day. I love my job, but that 6-7 hour window where you have to wait and think about it all dang day, that's pretty crappy. So happy to just get done. Happy to beat a durable guy with a good record in Garcia. He's had some ups and downs or whatever, but he's very strong, comes from a very good camp.
How you feel, and what's next for you?
You know, man, I got a USADA waiting back here, so that's the next battle over there, you know. So I've got water down here. I got some banana pudding with my name on it, some bass to catch down in Worcester and Eufaula down here. You know, I'm from here. Well, my family's from here. I was raised in New Mexico, but I was born down the street. So, like I said, man, I want to see my kids. I didn't get to see enough of them through the training camp. Very thankful for the family that I have that, you know, put my kids under their wings and take care of them while I go make a living and all that good stuff. And I get to kiss them and say goodnight or whatever, but, you know, I want to go drown them and throw them in the air. So
nobody gonna call out or anything like that?
Man, I'm happy to be healthy right now. There's so many badasses in this division. Somebody wants to call me out, and I'll meet you at the other end of the cage.
I know you said you wanted to get 15 minutes in and get it, but your body language afterwards didn't seem like you were especially pleased. I mean, are you happy with the way it went? You know, man, I don't like hearing people boo or whatever, but you know, I'm just happy to be back in the win column. You know, you don't get credit when you fight hurt and lose fights. You know, you don't get credit for all the time and suffering you put into camp. You only get credit for your win. And you know, I had a loss my last camp. People don't realize how much I suffered in that last training camp, and fighters in general. So, you know, my hat's off to people that, you know, suck it up and try to get out there and try to win regardless of the scenario or whatever. So I'm thankful to have a job. I'm thankful to have a boss and a company that knows I was hurt or whatever and put me on a show that I wanted on. This wasn't a pay-per-view or nothing big like that, but I just wanted to get back in there, and it wasn't hard to make up for my last performance. It was trash, but if anyone's, like, you guys have seen me fight more than once, I wasn't all there in my last fight, and I did the best I could with the scenario. I guess knowing what we know now, do you want to face Oliveira again at some point?
If it's the case, you know, they only wanted to do that rematch in Brazil. I'm not going to travel 27 hours one way to let them sit on the couch, you know what I mean? I gave him the benefit of the doubt for the knee I threw in December or whatever. He was getting up, I threw the knee, whatever, you know, so I gave him the benefit of the doubt. I traveled 27 hours one way hurt. Did the best I could in the situation I had. Hats off to their camp. I'm thankful for the ass whooping he gave me. Life's humbling, man. Life's humbling. So if he wants to get off the couch and, you know, they want to meet us in Europe or in Ireland or something, let's both travel. But hats off. I did the best I could to talk that fight up because that's about all I had, man. I was only 60%, so I got people to watch. I did my job there. But at the same time, in the fight, I wasn't ever in it. I was just kind of ducking punches and trying to figure out if I tore my leg open and what I tore in my leg. So I got off the airplane, seen a neurosurgeon right away. Thankful that it wasn't worse or whatever, but it was a good 10 weeks of recovery and getting healed up.